Dear friends, this week, this weekend, this house, the United Nations, also belongs to you.
It's possible
when we act
with urgency
for everyone,
everywhere.
Positive Spin, presenting positive, innovative, and solution-oriented news from around the world. On today's program, Malala and young teens talk about how young activists are learning to speak out. And we'll see an Amnesty International campaign, Humanity and Solidarity Against Hate and Division. After that, we'll experience the How You See Me campaign on disability, and also the How You See Me campaign on Asians. Following that, we'll hear the story of a North Korean girl's amazing journey to freedom. And we'll see a powerful vision of a feminist future. Then we'll learn about the Keepers of the Earth, Yes We Can, Song for the Environment. And finally, we'll hear some personal messages of peace.
Girls are often told that become a doctor, become a teacher, which is fine, but girls can also become leaders, and girls can also become change makers, and girls can also become activists. And I found I want to do that. I want to change things, and I want to speak out.
मेरा नाम आकांक्षा है, मैं गर्ल्स एडवोकेट हूँ.
My name is Zainab Abdi. I am an advocate for girls' education, and I work as a refugee immigrants youth ambassador.
My name is Peace Ayo. I am an advocate for girls' education.
My name is Melanie Nantes, and I advocate for education and gender equality.
For me, becoming an activist was finding a new path in my life. And for me, that was realizing that I can actually have an impact through using my voice. To all young women and girls around the world who want to do something, who want to bring change, all I would say is you have to be the first person to be confident in yourself. You have to be the first person to accept yourself, and you have to be the first person to applaud yourself. That's how you start developing confidence. That's how you start developing this sense of rightness and truth in your cause. Oftentimes we think that you have to grow older and be in a position or have some certain number of degrees or something to be able to bring change. And I realized that no, you can still have an impact whatever age you are.
Advocacy is about raising your voice to do change. I got in advocacy because I didn't want people to speak on behalf of me, because I got a voice that I want to share. I have a story that I want to tell people about, because I want certain change to happen to my country and around the world.
मैं चाहती हूँ कि हर लड़की शिक्षा प्राप्त करे, और मैं इसके लिए काम कर रही हूँ.
And that's the message that I want to spread across the world. Do not let anything stop you. Start speaking out now about the issues that you are concerned about. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel, share and comment, because we want to hear your stories too.
I feel so blessed to be able to just live my life and have people be motivated by it.
I have a spinal cord injury. And so when I was seeing people roll by, I was like, wow, so that's what I'm gonna look like.
I think I'll do a bit of it. I know I think it's cancer and kids.
I was born paralyzed. I was born with spina bifida. So I've been paralyzed my whole life, and it's the only life I know. So I had to kind of grow into learning I was different.
My biggest insecurity is my legs. So I decided, hey, if that's my biggest insecurity, then I'm gonna start a gene line. And all of the pictures are based around my jeans and my legs and other people's legs. And that's where I realized that it's okay to be different. Because once you embrace it, your entire world changes.
People they're allowed to react to me a lot of times. So like, I make little jokes like, hey, calm down, it's okay. I'll be okay.
I would have people treat me as if I wasn't really there, and I would have people treat me like they didn't want anything to do with me. And perhaps it's because they were scared and they didn't know any other response.
One of my favorite things is when I'm out in public and I have all my girls with me who are all in chairs, who are all gorgeous. And we literally love when we see heads just turn.
Society doesn't correlate disability and being attractive. We are beautiful people. Everyone's beautiful in their own way, but we can be stylish. We can be gorgeous and stunning and fabulous, as I like to say, because yes, I see myself as being fabulous.
Being a dancer, once a dancer, always a dancer, I didn't stop. So I would go out to the clubs and I would get my boogie on. And I was surprised by how guys would approach me and be like, hey, you're hot. And they wouldn't say, you're still hot. They would say, you're hot.
There is the black and white. There's the bad and there's the good. So as long as you're focusing on the good, then the bad just seems to melt away.
We're only given one life, and you gotta be proud of it.
You want to bust a couple of moves? What?
Perfect. Let's get a cut.
Being aware that I'm walking around and people recognize me as either Arab or Muslim, that I was like, oh, okay. This is just something that I have to deal with for the rest of my life.
People get to know you, and like I said, they don't automatically think you're Arab or Palestinian, and then they find out you're Palestinian, and then it's like, oh, well. It just gets awkward. I don't know what it is.
If I'm not being mistaken for, being Mexican or Cuban, I'm always having to explain, where I'm originally from. Even though I was born and raised in Southfield, Michigan, I have to say my family's Lebanese, even though I only have a U.S. passport.
In class, if we're talking about Arabs or if we're talking about Muslims in history or politics or whatever, you kind of like feel this like tension in the air, and all the eyes start to turn at you, like waiting for you to say something.
I will ask students, I'll do an exercise with them. So if I say 3 words like Arab, woman, Muslim, like what are the first things that come to your mind? And they'll say things like oppressed, backward, veil.
Everything about my identity is inherently politicized. Being a woman, being Arab, and being Muslim, like those are 3 very complex identities.
One time we were at the airport, my dad, he has a very Arab sounding name. And in addition to that, he's way darker than I am. So instantly, people were a bit more on alert. And it was kind of especially interesting because, we're both Arab, we're both from Syria, he's literally my dad, the same family. But just like that instant, they felt threatened by him, even though me and him were practically the same person.
A driver
it's like 4 or 5 months ago, like when I was talking about that I came here and I love writing, and as an Arab, you're not in the right place. That's what I understand from the way he was talking to me. If I'm an Arab, I don't have the right to say what I think about.
In 1987, I was 4 at the time, and federal agents came into my house and arrested my uncle. That was like the first moment where I knew that being Palestinian specifically, and Arab probably more, I guess broadly speaking, meant something different.
On the one hand, I'm Arab and Muslim, and on the other hand, I'm also American. So sometimes balancing those two sides gets difficult, and I think you reach a point in your life where you find that balance and you become proud of that balance.
I remember this happened to me actually a couple weeks ago. I was in Westwood and we were driving. We needed to park somewhere, and we asked this one lady who was stopped. She had her car lights on, like she was gonna reverse out essentially. And while she was reversing, like she let us take her spot, and then she drove up right next to us and she looked at us and she was like, "By the way, I just want to say, I am so sorry for Trump. Like, I'm so sorry." But I was like, "Aw, that's cute. Like, that doesn't really happen often. Arabs and Muslims, we don't hate all white people just because y'all have Trump." Like,
people go to the media because they feel like, or they kind of absorb what the media has to say because they don't always have a peer from that background to talk with. And it's just kind of like, have an open mind, listen to listen, don't listen to change someone else's point of view.
People are told to be expressive and be themselves, and at the same time they're being persecuted for that, in the sense that being yourself should be normal. And I think that's what we should strive for.
저의 이름은 주찬양입니다. 나이는 25살입니다. 한국 나이로.
사이즈 큰데?
Just a few years ago, Chan Yang never imagined that life would take her here, to this land of such plenty. She and her family now live in Seoul, South Korea's dynamic capital city. But they're from one of the most isolated and repressive nations on earth, where she spent most of her childhood starving. Chan Yang grew up in North Korea, also known as the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, or DPRK, which in the 1990s suffered an immense famine. Marzuki Darasman, an independent expert, is tasked by the United Nations Human Rights Council to investigate violations of people's rights in North Korea.
This is a system that has no parallel in the modern world in terms of its hold on its own people, in terms of its massive scale of human rights violations, and in terms of its totalistic control of the very lives of its individual citizens.
Barred from entering North Korea, Mr. Darasman visits neighboring countries. Today in South Korea, he's at the Ministry of Unification, which has responsibility for reuniting the two Koreas. Then, at the UN Human Rights Office in Seoul, he meets young people. Among them is Chan Yang. Chan Yang explains how she finally escaped.
두만강을 넘을 때 저는 그 헤엄을 쳐서 넘었어요. 두만강을 일단 그렇게 넘어서 중국에 가게 됐죠.
She underwent a dangerous onward journey through Thailand, and finally, in South Korea, she was reunited with her family, who escaped separately.
북쪽에 계신 분들도 자유가 있고 이런 인권이 있고 삶을 포기하지 않고 하는 거를 깨닫고
Let's go.
우리 한민족이 지금 분단돼 있지만 다시 만나게 되는 날을 향해서 이렇게 힘내서 올 수 있도록 푸시하고 싶은 그런 마음에서 하는 것 같아요, 저는.
Brave world. This is a letter from your future. This is a world made equal. A generation challenged and changed and redeemed. A world you believed in. A world that you built. A world you're creating but cannot yet see. This is a letter from the women you've set free. Dear feminists, as you stand your ground side by side amidst the noise, as you hear the chorus of the movement and decide to lift your voice, as you fight together for the future, the right to peace and power and choice, governments will match your momentum. Policies will partner with your perspective. Communities will build upon your bravery. You are shattering the glass ceiling, feminists, and we know the shards stick and sting upon your knuckles, and the scars haven't faded, and the fire still feels hot. But you have revealed the endless sky to the generation who will finally touch it. These women have no limits now. The future is feminist, and so it is fluid and inclusive, where all expressions of gender are protected and respected, where the feminine and masculine are esteemed as equal qualities of leadership. The future is feminist, and so are its policymakers, where women in all their diversities are elevated and elected as leaders and advocates, combining their power to affect global change. The future is feminist, and so its governments are accountable to women, where they have recognized authority over their own bodies, access to safety and security, where their choices are upheld by their human rights. The future is feminist, and so it has reached inclusive peace, where the most vulnerable are not just granted refuge, but amplified power, a heard voice within every political negotiation, government resources for community elevation, funding and support to set free the next generation, where one woman's healing can heal the whole world. In this future, the war against women is finally over, and it benefits everyone. Feminists of every gender, this is the movement you are building together. As you demonstrate, as you motivate, as you organize and influence and advocate, this is the world you can collectively create. This is a letter from your future, from the women who are standing upon your shoulders, climbing beyond restriction into a true equality, taking hold of a world you cannot yet see. Brave feminists. This is a letter from the women now set free. Reach up and rise together. The future is feminist, and the future is yours.
a home to stay. The herons and rhinoceros.
Andalusia, oh, where we can rest and float. A land with trash and with wasted heads. Keepers of the earth, yes we are. Keepers of the night, land and sea. Guarding our forests, saving our planet. Keepers of the earth, yes we are.
We all need a warmth and the cleanest breeze, but we ruin it all when we burn so much fuel.
Let's save the hills, mountains and plains and lakes. Plant a tree, recycle waste, go green. Keepers of the earth, yes we are. Keepers of the night, land and sea. Guarding our forests, saving our planet. Keepers of the earth, yes we are.
Plants more trees, we use go green. Clean our seas, create a safer earth. Plant more trees, we use go green. Clean our seas, create a safer earth.
Keepers of the earth, yes we are. Keepers of the night, land and sea. Guarding our forests, saving our planet. Keepers of the earth, yes we are. Keepers of the earth, yes we are. Keepers of the night, land and sea. Guarding our forests, saving our planet. Keepers of the earth, yes we are. Yes we are.
This is Operation Save the Planet. Stop polluting the environment. The forest provides shelter and food for many animals, insects and bugs. If we keep cutting down trees, the world might soon become a desert without life. Save the forest.
Peace. I mean, it's a really important word, isn't it? Just off the top of my head, I think peace is when we allow people to be who they are, and we don't fight them about it. We're all here on the planet together, and too often we don't allow people. We have prejudices and things like that. So peace is a beautiful word, and I think again, if we just need to be to relax and allow people to be who they are, and not fight in any way. Because everybody has a different way of being peaceful, and a different way of living, and there's not one way to live a life for anything. There are many ways, and so it's just respect for each other. Yeah. So.
Thank you for watching Positive Spin. This show is made possible through the generosity of the Patty and Jack Wright Foundation and the Prem Rawat Foundation. Watch and subscribe to our previous episodes on YouTube, and please like us on Facebook. Follow us on Free Speech TV, Roku, Sling, DirecTV, Dish Network, and Apple TV. I'm Bill McCarthy. Stay safe and healthy, and remember, everyone can go out and create their own positive news.